Hi guys, my name is Dr. Tobi from Quincy Wellness, and I'm here to talk about a very controversial topic. And I'll theme it the color complex, which is something we learned in school. So what's the color complex? First of all, let me just give you a few facts. Skin bleaching is a very common, rampant problem worldwide, and it's even been considered a public health issue, meaning it's a concern just like diabetes, like malaria, like high blood pressure, and any other major health illness is considered a public health issue. So do you know that 77% of Nigerian women bleach? And also 28% of Nigerian men bleach. And so that's a big issue. If 77% of Nigerian women are bleaching, that's literally almost everybody. And that's may even be what they measured. Only God knows whether it was 100% of Nigerian men who bleach. It's even to the point that children and babies are being given these bleaching creams because they don't want their children to be dark, or they don't want their children to be black. So you see all these glowing oil for baby soap, baby glow soap, different things. So it's actually a concern of public health issue because there are a lot of dangers in skin bleaching. So now back to this whole thing about the color complex. So what is a color complex? I'm going to just read from the Washington Post. The color complex, or simply put, the belief in the superiority of light-skinned and European-like hair features and facial features. It's something among African Americans and people of black descent. And unfortunately, it's a legacy of slavery and colonialism. Okay, so why is there this whole thing about a color complex? So let's go back to hundreds of years ago when slavery started and the Europeans and the British started taking slaves from the coast of Africa to work in the fields of America and other parts of the world. First of all, the reason why slavery became more of a black versus white thing was because, number one, black people were just easier to identify. I mean, if you took out, they had European slaves, they had all the different colors of slaves, Irish, British. But if that slave ran away and just, took a nice shower and cut his or her hair, you will know that he's a slave or not. So eventually they noticed, okay, you know what? These black people are easy to identify. So if you see any black person on the road, he's definitely a slave. And then that became what everybody started doing, was just importing these slaves out of Africa to work on the fields. And then it became generational because they banned, importing of slaves. So they just said, you know what, if you're born a slave, your child is a slave, and you continue to be a slave. Almost like cow, cattle, domestic livestock, and things like that. It was a long time ago, and we did a lot of things we're not proud of, but that's what happened. So now what happened with that? Of course, there was mixing with the black people and the white people. I mean, not necessarily, on purpose, because there's a lot of rape involved in an attempt to have more slave children. Like if the slaves didn't have children, the slave master will rape the slave woman and give birth to more slaves. A very dark time in history. So now what started happening with this color thing? So the whiter you are, the more European you are, the more human you are. And so this whole thing started to happen whereby if you were mixed or biracial, it meant you had more of the slave master's blood in you, so definitely you're much better looking and you're much more of a human being than if you're darker skin. So darkness started to be associated with badness, with stupidity, with slavery, with everything bad. And then whiteness was seen as, pure and advanced and things like that. And so over time, this whole idea of, if you're a dark person, and not even idea, this is what used to happen. The darker you are, the further away from the house you lived. So if you were a very dark-skinned slave, it meant that you were for the fields. You are going to be picking cotton, making sugarcane plantation. You won't even use your eyes like this to see the inside of the slave master's house. But if you were lighter, it meant you had more of that slave master's blood. And then you were allowed to maybe be in the house, maybe in the kitchen, being the house boy or the house girl for your master's children, maybe possibly your sisters and brothers. And you were allowed to have more privileges as a slave because you had more of that white blood in you. Now that even transcended, that whole idea of white is better, black is not as good, white is more beautiful, fair is better, dark means you're a slave, or you work menial jobs and things like that. That now transcended into Africa now, because as they were doing the slavery in America, there was colonialism also started in Africa as well. And that has now followed in through till today, whereby the whiter you are, the more beautiful you are perceived, especially as women. The darker you are, it means, in fact, some people may be even bullied and thought of as not educated, or thought of as not beautiful, or whatever it is, because they are darker skinned. What is happening now? Now everybody is bleaching their skin. There's even just a natural thing whereby you say, if you are not fair, you will not see husband. If you are not yellow, you cannot see husband. You can't even get a good job. It's not even that it's an idea. It is actually what is happening. So lighter skinned people just tend to have it better and easier than darker skinned people. Not because there's anything wrong with their color as they are, but because of the society, from the mental slavery, from the physical slavery. So the physical slavery has entered into mental slavery, and we are manifesting it with this color complex to the point that everybody is bleaching their skin and are dying in the process. I'm going to read a quote from somebody in the Washington Post. It says, "My daughter hears all the time from black boys that they will never marry a girl darker than she is. I've heard it growing up, oh, don't go out in the sun too much because you're going to get dark and then you will not find a husband. Oh, blackish shadow, look at her, you can't even see your face, you are disappearing in the night." It's a sad vestige from our horrible past of slavery, oppression, everything. It's a sad vestige. And it has now transcended into 2024 now, whereby skin bleaching is now a public health issue. So what are the dangers of skin bleaching? I'll just mention a few dangers of skin bleaching. First of all, let's talk about what are the ingredients used in skin bleaching. Generally speaking, the ones we see in the market, there are two main ingredients that are used in skin bleaching. One is hydroquinone, and the second one is steroids, clobetasol, dexamethasone, just steroids in general. The side effects of skin bleaching in general stems a lot from this steroid use. So steroids are a medication, it's a compound that helps with synthesis of certain actions in your body. And sometimes you need to use steroids to help certain issues. Most of the time we use steroids when you're having a reaction to something. So meaning maybe you had you have an allergic reaction to something. We use steroids to reduce your body's reaction to that allergy and prevent you from dying or falling sick. Now, in minute doses on topical, meaning using on your skin, the steroids can be used to calm down physical reactions on your skin, like rashes and things like that. But the side effects from using steroids is that your skin gets lighter because your skin thins out, there's lack of oxygen to your skin. So you have this pale look when you use steroids. And it's that pale look that we are now using as per, wants to be fair. So you see some people walking around looking like ghosts, not knowing that they're having a lot of side effects that can happen. So what is the major side effect of steroids? It's kidney damage. I see too many girls on dialysis because they went to go and get the IV, skin lightening IV, and they put steroids in it that is supposed to be used to save lives, to lighten their skin, and then they develop skin with kidney damage and they're on dialysis. You can get diabetes from using steroids because it raises your blood sugar. Then the other one that is obvious to everybody is those stretch marks that you get from steroids, because steroids literally they stretch out your skin, so they thin out your skin, and when you thin something out, it tears and you get the stretch marks, which is a tearing of your skin, and you now start having it in different places. It's normal to have some stretch marks, from childbirth, around your stomach, maybe around your breast area, on your bum. But when you start having stretch marks on your arms, on your neck, and places that stretch marks should not occur, it's most likely from steroid use, especially those dark red ones or very big fat zebra marks. So because you are trying to look fair so that you can attract the right man or attract the right job, whatever it is, you end up looking like a tiger came and just swiped you from head to toe. And you are also causing internal damage to yourself, especially damage to your kidneys. And another ingredient, that's like hydroquinone, can cause skin cancer. In fact, anything that lightens your skin by killing the melanin cells that God has given us to protect us from this harsh sun can increase your risk of developing cancer. Because what does melanin do? Melanin is found in every human being, including white people. It's only not found in albinos because they lack the gene that produces melanin, and it gives them a lot of health problems. It's a medical condition. So melanin is something our body produces in response to protecting our skin from the sun. So the more you are exposed to the ultraviolet rays of the sun, your body produces that melanin. It's found in the pigment in our eyes, it's found in our hair, it's found on our skin, it's everywhere. And it's God's way of protecting us from the sun. When you are killing those melanin cells, you are increasing your risk of having sun damage. Yes, you will get darker. Yes, you get darker. That is a good thing if you are seeing the sun. But when you do not have those melanin cells, which a lot of these skin lightening products do, they kill the cells or they reduce the amount your body produces of the melanin, then you are opening yourself naked for the sun and the harmful ultraviolet light to cause you to have skin cancer. And melanoma is no joke. People die from skin cancer. And don't think that because you are black, you're not safe. If you are bleaching your skin, then you're putting yourself at the same risk as, say, an albino who has no melanin cells, and you can develop skin cancer and you can die from that. This is the solution to this, because the truth of the matter is that in Nigeria, as we are like this, and even if you look at certain celebrities, I don't want to mention it, many celebrities, if you look at them 20 years ago and you look at them now, including American celebrities, guess what? They are lighter, they are glowing and all kinds of things. They are yellower, because to break it in Hollywood, to break it in Nollywood, to break it in, that is just unfortunate. Unfortunately, lighter they just have it easier. Some banks will not hire girls that are not light-skinned. Some marketing firms will not hire girls that are not light-skinned. Some husbands will not even marry women that are not light-skinned. So you see one yellow woman, one yellow man, and the children are jet black, and you'll be wondering what happened. It's because the mother had bleached. So the solution is not clear-cut. It would take a renewing, or let's say a reshaping of our minds. We have to start to undo that brainwashing that says that fair is beautiful. It's not easy, but if we start somewhere, in the next 10 to 15 years or even 20 years, at least our children will not be forced to bleach so that they can get a good job or a good spouse, or whatever it is. It's not, I can't say, this is the solution, or just don't use bleaching creams, because people will still use bleaching creams. People will still risk their lives to achieve that light-skinned look, just like people risk their lives to do Yahoo so that they can make money. It's a desperation, because you are trying to achieve something that will make your life, quote unquote, easy. and you are not concerned about the repercussions. It's when it's like entering into a bad deal, knowing fully well that, you know what, I'm willing to take this risk. If I die, I perish, I perish. It's not going to be very clear cut. I will say this: I am not against lightening of the skin, because when you have children, especially someone, I will use myself as an example. I was very, very clean, very smooth, my skin was so, I didn't even remember to look at the mirror in the morning because I had perfect skin until, guess what, until I became a mother. And all those hormones, they literally beat me up like a bad gun. I developed hyperpigmentation, I developed cystic acne, my neck was so dark, my armpit. I did not look like myself when I looked at myself in the mirror. I did not look like what I grew up knowing. And I had to find a way to lighten those affected parts of my body. I had to find a way. And even as I am like this now, I'm still not at the way I was when I was, single and, no mother, no children, nothing. I'm still not there. And I have to do an active skincare routine, active skincare regimen, supplements. I have to eat healthy. I have to flood myself with antioxidants so that those hormones are not fighting against me and I start developing patchy skin and things that come with being a mother for some of us that are not lucky. So I'm not against saying, oh, don't do anything to improve the look of your skin. We've been improving the look of our skin as human beings from the beginning of time. Cleopatra, Nefertiti, they used to bath in camel's milk, yogurt, all kinds of random things, honey, different things to improve the look of your skin. It is the natural instinct of a human being to want to beautify themselves. That's why we do makeup. We've been doing makeup, we've been doing hair, we've been wearing extensions, we are wearing jewelry, wearing nice things. It's natural to want to improve the look of anything, and people don't understand that your skin or your appearance, it tells a lot about even your health. It tells a lot about your status in life. It tells a lot about your condition of your mind. If you are not taking care of yourself because you are depressed or because you are sick, it will show on your skin. You can tell even in the medical field if somebody is anemic or if you are having lack of oxygen just by the look of your skin. So it's natural to want to improve the look of your skin. What is the solution? There is no clear-cut solution, but there are natural ways you can, natural things you can do to improve the look of your skin. The first thing I always tell people is your nutrition. You are what you eat. So there's no point adding a band-aid or a plaster on a wound and you're not treating the actual wound itself. It's just like you're just adding a plaster on the wound and nothing is happening. You are what you eat. If you flood yourself with antioxidants, if you flood yourself with healthy food, if you flood your body with fiber, if you flood your body with herbs, which is what? Our natural tea. We can't be drinking the white man's tea, right? And then be complaining about our own that is sitting right there in our background, in our backyard, and say, whoa, what is the dosage of this tea? Is it not the same green leaf or green tea or whatever it is that they plucked in their own backyard and boiled it and are drinking it for their own betterment? So also we have the same thing that our ancestors have been drinking for millennia, and it's tea. But because of this same mental slavery that we have, we are no longer in physical chains, we are now in mental chains. And that chain is harder to break because I just look at my dog. I'll give you an example. I have a dog. And my dog will go into his cage on his own just to go and collect breeze and rest. Because we have trained that dog that your cage is your comfort zone. So even without closing the cage, you will sit there. And if we don't act as if we have unlocked it, I will just close the door. My dog will never open that door to see if the door is open. And that is mental slavery. So we need to break those chains and go back to our roots. There's so many natural things you can do to brighten your skin, to improve the texture of your skin. God has made a lot of things available to us, and we just need to utilize it. How do you know the right place to go, the right people to talk to? Well, you're talking to somebody right here. I am telling you that, oh, this is what is out there and these are things you can do. And I'm still against skin lightening for the purpose of changing the race or changing how you look because you are trying to achieve, more money or a better husband. I don't believe that that's the right way to go. You should lighten your skin because you have a problem. Just like you would take paracetamol because you have a headache. Is why you should improve the texture of your skin because there's something going on. And there are maintenance things you can do to just keep looking younger. Who wants to look old? Nobody. I don't want to look old, so I can imagine if you don't want to look old. But if you are using those bleaching products, you are going to have premature aging. And you're going to look much, much older than your age because you are using these things. So do your research, call us, let us know what you need. We're there to help. Make sure you are drinking a lot of water. I tell people water is what we're made up of. Drinking water clears your skin, makes you naturally bright, makes you glow naturally. And then reducing sugar, reducing processed foods, eating our natural foods, eating our natural fruits, taking your herbs. We should be on herbs. Everybody should be on herbs. If you're a Christian, it's in the Bible. If you're a normal human being, it's in the Bible. It's everywhere. It's there for our use, however we want to do it. So please go back to nature, go back to your roots, and learn about your past and learn about your history. Because if you do not know about your past and if you don't know where we are coming from, you will not understand why we do what we do today. So thank God for YouTube, thank God for internet, thank God for Google. We should learn, do more research about the dangers of what I just said, dangers of skin bleaching, learn about the reason why people bleach their skin, and learn about the reason why we need to embrace our natural selves, the reason why we need to embrace ourselves as Nigerians, embrace ourselves as people of color, embrace our natural hair, embrace our natural skin color, and how do we just enhance it? How do we just beautify ourselves without doing it because we are trying to be more like an European, look more like a mixed person, or whatever it is. Well, everybody's made beautifully. There's the beauty in diversity. We're supposed to be of different races, colors, and types. There's not one color that is better than the other, or one hair texture that is better than the other. And we need to actively start to erase those ingrained beliefs and brainwashing from our minds and begin to start to love ourselves, love our culture, love our traditions. And in so doing, love our skin and love our hair and love every aspect of ourselves. So I hope everybody watches this and if you have any comments, please let me know. And if you have any messages, please always give us a call. We're on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and we are also online. Love you all. Have a good day.